Hello everyone, this is Angela here, and tonight I'm going to be talking about um, the narcissistic personality disorder, and tonight's topic is going to be the last video of my series, My Romance with a Covert Narcissist. And in order to conclude this, I just want to say that I got to a point where I realized that I was dealing with the covert narcissist, and I just decided that it was time to just end the relationship. So I just basically abruptly told him I never want to see you again. I was very nasty with him, and very nasty, and I blocked him. And then I sent emails, and after like a year I emailed him and apologized and basically told him that you know um, he was a wonderful person, but I just didn't want to see him anymore, just to not hurt his feelings. So with that, I want to say that I like to read the end email to and make some points about covert narcissism and to express my mistakes, okay? Because I played a major role in this disastrous relationship, and I realized my mistakes, and I want to share my mistakes with the people on my channel so that you guys will understand not to do these things, okay? Just don't do it. Don't do it. I know better now, and it's not going to happen again, you know. So here's what I said. Dear Donnie, I don't think that you are evil or a horrible person. However, I do think that you have a very high degree of narcissism to the point where it has negatively affected your relationships and your life. My problem in the relationship was that I allowed things to move way too fast, and as a result, I had unrealistic hopes of having any type of future with you. I should have never ever slept with you so soon. Everything moved too fast, and I couldn't handle this outside of a marriage commitment. I genuinely believed that I was in love with you, but in reality, it was just infatuation mistaken for love. I wanted our relationship to grow into a marriage and a life together with you. In reality, I was just strung along by you and by my own non-realistic expectations. I never got a straight answer from you with regard to your view on getting married. Your answer was always, I don't know, which is not really an answer at all, but instead a phrase that meant that I was being strung along. What you really meant is no, you are never getting married again. You said, I don't know, because you knew that if you told me the truth and said, no, I am never getting married again, I would have broken off the relationship immediately. So instead, you decided to string me along, which is basically just as bad as lying. A man who is not afraid to get married will say, yes, I am open to the prospect of marriage because that is my goal with the right woman. A strong man of faith will step up to the plate and do the right thing when the time is right with the right person. The truth is that marriage is not in your future with any woman. Why? Because you don't have the courage to take that leap of faith. It doesn't matter how much proof that is shown to you with regard to the content of my character. All that mattered to you was to exploit whatever benefit that you could take from me until such time when it ended. It was doomed to fail from the very beginning, simply because you couldn't be honest with me or yourself. You have no plans for your future. You don't know where you want to live, whether that be Florida, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania. One day you're talking Florida, then another day New Jersey, then another day Easton, Pennsylvania. This ambivalence of yours caused me to become unstable and insecure because I felt that at any time you'd take off and ghost me. You had already done that twice without ever considering how that made me feel, because my life does not matter to you. Also, what bothered me is that you don't seem to be in touch with other people's feelings. You are very flat, aloof, and sometimes even cold when it comes to you expressing any emotions of genuine love, tenderness, and affection. Nothing was ever real. Your expressions were robotic in nature, as if someone programmed you when to speak and when to keep quiet. When I asked you specific questions about things that are important to both of us, you would never give me a straight answer. Instead, you just avoided truth by simply saying, I don't know. All that matters to you is that your wants and your needs are fulfilled, and to hell with everyone else who is affected by your ambivalence. Life is all about taking chances. If we never try, then we are guaranteed to fail. Your mother made the right decision to go and spend time with her loved ones in Florida. She's an old lady and she could die any day. If she would have passed away en route, then it wasn't meant to be. If she had stayed home, she might have died anyway because she's old. She took that chance, that leap of faith, and she won. She survived not only the journey, but she fulfilled her wish to visit her loved ones, and she came home safely. So what do you have to look forward to? Tell me, what do you have to look forward to? Coming home from work to an empty place with no one there, to be by yourself for the rest of your life? If you want a companion to just live together without a formal marriage commitment, then you go find yourself that type of woman. Shacking up on the weekend, catering to your needs, doesn't fit into my plan for my life. I have always been straight up with you with regard to my plan for my future, for my life. If that didn't comport with your plan for your future, for your life, then you should have told me that. You have this fear of the world, a fear of taking a chance, simply because you might fail. If you never try, you automatically fail. In other words, you 100% lose 100% of the time because you didn't try. This relationship failed because I don't have the time to waste with you or any other man who can't be straight up and honest. In other words, I can't be bothered with being strung along. The only thing that I ever was to you was a kitchen maid, a bed wench to give you sex, and a pseudo-therapist there to absorb all of your negative baggage. No. No thanks. I'd rather be alone than with a sourpuss schlep rock who is miserable. I want a strong, sexy, confident man who isn't afraid to be the man who I need him to be, and in return, I will be the woman, the wife who he needs me to be. I'm not lowering my standards for any man. I'm happy and content to live out the rest of my life available for the right person. This is the truth of why we broke up. You may be a great guy in some ways, because people are neither all good nor all bad. When the bad outweighs the good, it's time to say goodbye. The only reason why I told you how wonderful you are is very simple. It's because you are a covert narcissist. Have a great life. So, with that said, that was the end game. That was the email that I just simply didn't send him. Why? Because he would have went into defense mechanism, and he would have simply tried to gaslight the situation and do all of the things that the narcissists do. They gaslight and they project and they reframe everything and push it back on you. Okay? Or they simply tip their hand to the point that you're trying to make and talk about something that's completely irrelevant. And that's how you know you're dealing with a narcissist. They got to be the eternal martyr, the victim. And the signs that you're dealing with the covert narcissist is that when you're trying to reason with them, they completely shut down. They may not rage outwardly, but they're raging internally. Okay, they're repressed, and a lot of that is because if this type of victim narcissist was raised by a parent who was extremely abusive, they did not have the ability to express themselves freely as children, okay? They were never nurtured. They weren't giving that mental capacity, that mental ability to express themselves and have the parents give them the freedom to express themselves and then, guide them in the right direction after they have done so. My mistake was I allowed my boundaries to be violated. I lowered my standards and allowed myself to be ghosted, okay? I allowed myself to be disrespected when we were on the beach and he's like grabbing onto my bathing suit and keep doing it even though I told him to stop. I allowed myself to not be treated well by him. He did do some good things. I will say that it wasn't 100% bad. There were some good things. He did help me, but with some things, but I did much more work than what he did. What I did, like the constant cooking, the constant chauffeuring him around. The way he would take over my car and he tried to disconnect a feature on my car, even though that car didn't belong to him. That was my car and that was not what I wanted him. He didn't, respect the fact that this is the choice of car that I wanted to buy. He felt that I needed to consult with him like I didn't have enough intelligence to choose my own car. Just stuff like that. Not being straight up, being strong along, always the high degree of ambivalence, okay? Tipping his hand to the fact that the type of relationship that I wanted to lead into a marriage. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong for people to have a companion, a living companion, whatever they want to do. That's fine for your life if that's what you're on board with. But don't go getting into a relationship with someone who's specifically looking for a relationship to develop over time to where the end goal is a marriage, okay? That person's not right for you, and you need to be upfront with that person and say, hey, look, I'm not on board with getting married again. I've been through marriage. I've been through a bad divorce, and I don't see that being into my future. But you're never going to have a straight up answer with a narcissist who's stringing you along. Always watch out for the victim, okay? When the victim acts like a martyr to the point where everybody's persecuting that person and there's nothing positive about that person. You need to start questioning. Also, another thing that where he violated my boundaries, I allowed him to dump all of his baggage, his emotional baggage on me. And I felt like I was his therapist. And I even told him, I said, I think that you need to talk to a professional. You need a therapist. And he's like, no, I can't do that. You're my therapist. Well, guess what? I don't want to be the therapist of my partner. And I don't want my partner to be a therapist for me. I'm at a good place in my life. My life is together. And I require somebody by my own standards to be at the same place as I am in their lives. Okay? If you're a person, if a person that I meet, I don't care how good looking he is. He could look like Brad Pitt or like a movie star, and pick your movie star. I don't care how good looking he is, okay? All that doesn't matter when it comes to the important stuff like openness, honesty, maturity, knowing how to manage your finances, having things in common, enjoying being with each other. And I'm not talking just sex. Sex is important, yeah, but it's secondary to all of these other things. Knowing that you could get along with this person, knowing that that person has enough humility to see your point of view and take a look at himself or herself and say, hey, you do have a point. And I didn't see it that way, but now that I see it the way you're presenting it, I get it, okay? And I'm sorry that my behavior hurt you, acknowledging when you're wrong, okay? And the other person acknowledging when they're wrong, okay? That's when you know you have a healthy and stable relationship. Knowing how to manage your finances is important, okay? You don't want to be with somebody who can't manage their money, because you're going to be rescuing that person for the rest of your life. And who wants to be a rescuer? I don't want to be a therapist for my mate. I don't want to be a rescuer. I said that I was going to point out the narcissism by showing you with regard to the email communication that I had with him, but I don't want to do that. And the reason why I don't want to do that is because I want to respect this person's privacy. This person knows about my channel. He knows about these videos, and he knows that I'm talking about him. And I'm not saying that he's evil or horrible or, anything like that, or a monster. It's not like that, okay? People are neither all good or all bad, okay? It's not black and white. It's about having enough of the narcissistic traits to where a relationship with that person becomes toxic. And that's what happened. And it's because he is the covert narcissist. Have a great night, everyone. Be back at you for some more videos. Really trying to grow my channel and work on this. So if anybody wants me to cover a topic, I appreciate everyone who watches my channel. And I hope my goal is to help people, to help people understand narcissism. And just be yourself, okay? Just be yourself. Don't knock yourself out for a person. You're not somebody's rescuer. You're not somebody's mother or their father. You need a mate, not, a codependent. All right, take care and have a great night.